Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So, not much to do for the last several months, so I've moved myself forward here to the point where I am now ready to harvest. And, as expected, I've got everything ready all at once. So I've got oats and my 2 fields of sunflowers. And we're going to see how everything goes. I need to unfold my harvester. As far as the money, because at this point I am kind of at the point where I'm ready to make a decision. Alright, yes, I'm still not going to spew out a straw swath, as I don't need it, so I don't want to create that extra work if I don't need to. So we'll get this part done. But yeah, we need, as a reminder, 19,000 liters of oats, 14,000 liters of sunflowers. Heading back through now, got everything lined up and everything set. I did remember this time to go ahead and adjust my header width for the fact that it never does it correctly with the automatic setting. And I have 10,000 liters of oats. So I basically need 8,500 liters off this field. And per my typical harvest on these fields, I'm pretty comfortable I should be able to do that. I usually get a little more than a full harvester, which is about, I think it's again like 7,500. So I'm trying to remember also to reset my precision farming information. So I have reset my yield map, so you can see here we're kind of running in that light green, moving into the yellow a little bit. So right in the center, you know, we're not anywhere near the dark green. I think that's just not possible on these fields. We're going to continue to have that difficulty there. You can see, you know, a couple passes plus the little bit there, we're at 2,200, so things are panning out pretty well. I'm going to maybe try to do this without headlands. I don't have anything in that other field. I've not gone ahead and replanted because at this point I'm trying to kind of figure out what I want to focus on and not rush into things unnecessarily. So I'm just trying to get level 4 done, start to see what the subsequent VIP requests are going to be for me so that I can appropriately plan ahead. The other thing that has been stewing for a little while, and that I'm at the point now where I think I'm just going to make my decision, and unfortunately I got no feedback from anyone over the 2 episodes that I was asking for feedback. So as I was speculating, my channel's probably just too small to get enough participation to reliably rely on feedback to determine what to do. You know, I'm sure I could sit there and someone someday may get to the point in the video where I ask for feedback, even though in the first video I was kind of really careful to, you know, title it and do everything that, hey, I need a vote here. I want to know, and it didn't seem to help. So based on that, I'm then kind of left to what I've been doing, which was make decisions on my own for the farm and do what I think makes the best sense. And so I am very much leaning toward picking up field 42, which is the large field that has really good soil. I think that would be a really nice addition. Now, my challenge is I need 392,000 plus pounds to do that. So right now, I can't do that because over the last few months, as we've really been waiting, we've simply been having our maintenance costs coming across, but we've been having no income. Now, this should change over, well, today, because I should almost with certainty be able to get all my VIP orders for level 4 done, which means not only will I get whatever I get from the crops, which probably in and of itself would be enough to put me over the top, but I should also, or I will also then get my VIP bonus of 100,000. And then I'll be able to go ahead and purchase that. Now the interesting part, and it's just kind of the luck of the draw, is the farmer who currently owns that field has also chosen to plant it in sunflowers, so I'm going to be back in the position of probably having to rent the header again to clear sunflowers off that field. Suppose I could just let the crop wither, but that seems like a waste, but it's several growth stages behind. And I suppose I could wait to buy the field until they do something else, but then there's no guarantee they're doing anything I really need anyway. So I'll have to figure that out, but that may occur as early as this episode, so we'll see. But right now, you know, my choices had been just continue to accumulate money and leave myself in a really good position to just be able to buy equipment as needed. Because we do have this situation again, you know, where we're going to need some sugar cane, things like that. But don't know that I'm going to be buying that type of equipment unless I see things coming up pretty regularly. So we're renting the header, which really is a small amount of cost. It's not like renting multiple pieces of equipment. But it has been a while in real time where I've gone ahead and waited now for about a week and a half to see if I'll get some decisions, and I've gotten the typical amount of views on both of those episodes, which is really just around a dozen. It's nothing substantial, which is part of the issue. Is I've got a small group that might even get to the point that they'd respond. But as I said, given the fact that now I'm more than a week removed from the first video, where I very clearly said, I need your help in a decision about the farm, I need voting, and then got nothing. And I also had marked a chapter pretty clearly about what people could listen to about what I need the decision on. You know, in my mind, I've done everything I could to kind of give people the breadcrumbs and say, all right, you want to just help and you want to just give feedback, go right here. You know, they could obviously listen around that time period for additional context and so forth. But the short answer is I didn't get anything, so I'm just kind of at the point where I'm feeling the decision I was leaning toward, I'll just execute it at this point, because I don't want to wait any longer, because frankly, if I wait too much longer, I run the risk of breaking out of the timeline of the series for no other reason than I'm waiting for feedback that may never come, or at least may never come in time for me to not have an issue. Because obviously with these coming out weekly, now I'm at the point where I've just got one more ready to go, and that's published and scheduled. And then after that, I am a little stuck. So what I may do, because I'm thinking I'm going to have enough content here, frankly, I may go ahead and give it you know, one more shot, because this way at least I've got one episode in the bag, additional, which gets me a couple weeks. And, you know, maybe let it go another week and don't actually pull the trigger on anything until the start of the next episode, whatever that may be. Because once again, I could just let the farm go. I could get rid of the sunflowers, because I'm frankly not a big fan of a field of sunflowers. Now that may change when I harvest here today, because I do need sunflowers more than level 4. I need another 25,000 liters in level 5. But I'm hoping, between the fact that I planted 2 fields of sunflowers here, that I'm going to be close to what I need in all cases. So I was kind of watching things go up and then just ran off. But 9,300, that is enough. So we know we'll have enough for oats. But again, my focus right now is on getting the crops off the field so that I can do that today. So I'm not going to go take anything for sale until later, but let me get the trailer and get this unloaded. Alright, so I left my trailer up here. I'm coming to get it. We got the bunker silo there. I did get a notice that fermenting is completed, so we do have silage there. So I'll be able to move that forward. I also haven't been paying a lot of attention to my cows, so my guess is they're in need of food as well, because otherwise I'm going to have a problem with my slurry requirement. They need to eat to produce some waste, so I need to get that handled as well. Yes, I'll get this here. So I have verified that the cows have consumed all their food, so I need to mix some more up. To do that, I need to be able to get to my silage. So I need a bucket, which I don't have. Of my 3 tool choices, so the nice benefit is that my uncle left me all kinds of equipment. So I have front loaders, wheel loaders, and telehandlers. This telehandler universal bucket is my most cost-effective option for capacity. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. And I'll go get that, and I'll work on the cows very quickly here. Alright, so we can see the fermenting silage here, 100%. If I go ahead and open it, see we have 250,000 liters, if you recall. So, and this bucket, I think, will take, let's see, gotta go down that way. So I'll just go scoop here, but it'll take like 2,600. See, it's just not gonna fill up. There we go. So now we're good. Whoops. Don't want to dump it right back. But yeah, so we've got 2,600. We'll get that over to our TMR mixer. So one of the other things I am looking into is putting in a station to do this, because while the trailer is okay, it's really not going to work, especially as I get more and more animals. You know, it's been taking me a long time just to get this far here. Nice thing with the telehandler is it's got more than enough reach to get up and do what I need here, so we should be okay with getting this into the TMR mixer. We are, I can't really tell without getting into the vehicle here where I'm at, so I need definitely more silage. We're only at 1200. So yeah, this is the challenge here. So let me keep playing this game, mixing things up a bit, and not even in the right vehicle. Disappointing. So, but yeah, I'm gonna probably need at least another bucket, if not a third bucket. But I'll keep getting this together. We'll get some feed into the cows. But as I try to figure out if I want to throw money at that field, I think realistically continuing to get the cows moving, I'm going to need a lot more TMR. So I may make a swap out on the farm pretty quickly here to be able to handle that. Alright, so it's nearly noon. I finally got enough, and I've had enough challenge with this. I don't think I'm going to mix another wagon of TMR, so I'm going to make the decision to get a TMR mixer in here today, but we'll see how everything goes after that. But I think I just lost a ton of... I don't know, I guess it's still in there. It dumped the whole bale in, and I'm like, I don't understand what is happening. Now, the question is it gonna turn that all into food for them or not? So yeah, it looks like at least it did give me 26,000 of TMR. And we got it in just early enough that they've already started to get 10% health. So that's good. So they're going to be able to then turn around and get some slurry going there. So let me go back here, get back to my harvest, and get this done, and then I got to get the sunflowers going because it's going to take some time still. I got to remember, you know, the corn headers are usually smaller, so I'm going to have more passes on the field. I've also got a couple large fields, obviously, so I need to kind of get moving on this so that I can get this done today and get things delivered. So the challenge ends up being now, as we go back to what I started with early in this episode before I had to divert for nearly 3 hours to go get 22,000 liters of food ready for my cows, is that TMR production building, which is by far going to be better because I can just kind of keep that thing topped off and keep pulling food out of there, and it can just keep mixing, and so it'll become part of the normal, maybe daily routine, or at least every other day routine, to just go in and top that thing off, because it'll, you know, that I know using buildings like that before is, you know, I can dump a whatchamacallit, oh, I can't think of the word, the bale. I can dump a bale of straw or hay in there and just leave it sitting in the hopper, and then it will consume it as it needs to. And more importantly, it will do so at a ratio that is effective for... let me go put this header somewhere here. Right now I'm just trying to get work done. I'm being a little sloppy on the farm, but that's okay, because I'm going to need to go and get the corn header in a bit once I lease that. But I'm going to go ahead and get my oats put away first. But no, my point was the bales will get consumed at the appropriate ratio in a mixer, where right now I'm also playing that game of, you know, what am I throwing in there, and then it, you know, I try to get close, and it worked. It just could have easily then suddenly thrown itself off. Yeah, I think I can get through here. So yeah, my sloppiness is starting to come back and get me. So those are seeds. We're going to have to remember them next time we plant, because I keep effectively forgetting them. But yeah, we have 10,000 here, so we didn't get a lot more than we needed. But, you know, we did get more than we needed. But I'm almost tempted. And the thing is, if I can get the sunflowers and the oats, which I have very little doubt that I'll be able to pull that off right now. I just don't know that I'll have enough. Now that I see I only got 10,000 oats off this field to do what in essence amounts to, what, 44,000 sunflowers off the 2 fields. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that, so maybe the sunflowers on that other field do make sense. And I just, you know, in this process, once I turn in the oats and the sunflowers, just keep going and harvest that other field of sunflowers shortly. So, and purchase it while it still has that. So, as always, on the VIP series here, there's a lot going on. It definitely creates a lot more thought into kind of every activity, because there's just a lot more purpose and a lot more driving us, because I've always got multiple customers that want something. Alright, so here's my corn header, 6 meters. So I can lease it for 2,700 pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so I've got my header, and I'm going ahead and pulling this off the field at this point. Not done sunflowers in quite some time, so not sure what kind of yield we'll get. Obviously, again, we got about 10,000 liters of oats off field 9. Field 10's a slight bit bigger. Oops. Missed a couple. One row of sunflowers there. Definitely no point in wasting. So I'll go ahead and clean that up. Didn't get a whole lot there. Got ourselves 1 liter or so. Alright, so we're going ahead. Seems to be a general harvester problem, because even with this header, it was a bit wide for what I had available to me. So, you know, but this is a 6 meter wide header versus my grain header that's 7.5 meters wide. So, not a, you know, a massive amount of size difference, but certainly enough, you know, that I'm likely on a field like this going to have to probably do 3 or 4 more passes. And again, on the large field down south, is going to be even more pronounced. So definitely going to go ahead and get some north-south headlands cut here. I was going to perhaps do a swath, but at this point I'm not necessarily going to do that, because the other pieces, I think it just creates cornstalk bales, which then I don't know that they actually have any use for me. So until I need them, I'm not sure that what I would get, because I'm not going to get straw per se off of this, unless something is different. I haven't frankly tried this in FS22 with corn header type crops, But I know in FS19 we get cornstalk bales, not straw bales off of it. So I don't know that I get the byproduct that I want or expected. So I'm trying to remember. We need 14,000. So actually we need 39,000. I was thinking it was 19,025, but I got them mixed up. So we need 14 and then 25. So yeah, we'll see what that all looks like with regards to the output we get here. So definitely a very interesting day on the farm here. I think I'll be okay. There we go. It looks like, yeah, it just, in turning, took a little bit of that one row out prematurely. But that means as I come back up the next time, I should be okay. Hoping, because I have a little bit more green space. Up here I've got the barn that I back against, which is why I ran 2 headlands, but I don't know that I need 2 down here. I just need to kind of get clear of the trees and can still maneuver in that other field if I need to. But yeah, I think this will be the first time since I've started working the farm here that I'll have all of my fields in a state of being harvested at once. Usually then I've already rotated in another crop, and again, I could have certainly done that, but let's see. Trying to get myself free there, but so maybe 2 headlands made more sense, but we'll see what we do. I think this will work here. Yep, there we go. Alright, so again, because we have about, I think it was 7,300 when it was full. Or maybe 9,300, I don't, I'm very bad at remembering the size of my equipment, obviously. So whatever it is, we know we got about 10,000 liters off this field in oats. At this point, I'm thinking we're going to get substantially more than 10. The question is, are we going to get 14? Am I going to get my full requirement? And then all of the other field is going to be able to be used for level 5. Because if I can, start to just deliver all that at once, that would certainly be nice. And if I could avoid needing the rest, because yeah, I'm worried I'm going to be really tight on finances here, trying to get enough for the TMR production as well as having the 392,000 I need for the field, because I basically need, just to be safe, I need 500,000, and even with the 102,000 bonus payout right now, I'm short. Now I'm going to get money from crop, but I may be very close to 0 when I go ahead and do that, which I've got to be careful that it doesn't put me in a spot where I can't buy the supplies I need to move forward. Now I'm hoping, because I know I'm going to get more than 14,000 liters of sunflowers before I'm done harvesting today. So even if I don't have the full 25,000, which really won't matter until I finish all of level 5, I'm hoping that between just being able to sell ahead on that crop a little bit and start making the dent in level 5 orders, that it will give me enough cushion, because I really don't need a substantial amount. None of these fields are that large. Now again, when I buy 42, we are going to have, I think, over a doubling or close to a doubling of our arable acres, which is going to be pretty nice, but a bit scary, because that may become, you know, a full day's work just on that field. But the benefit is we're going to be able to get a lot more output and hopefully make a lot more progress as we need crops. But the unknown is, as the VIPs find out, are their demands going to increase on us? So we know right now what we have through level 7, and we'll know through level 8 before we buy that field, because we'll have finished the level 4 orders, so we should be locked in for that, and that will give us several levels to work through before I have to worry about any impact if there is something like that. Logically, you would think that if I'm a business person again, and I'm asking a farmer to do some work for me, if they suddenly have higher capacity, that I would certainly take advantage of that. So this may continue to be kind of a chicken and egg type of thing, where I'm just chasing things entirely, where I'm going to immediately be back in that boat of, if I just had a little more acreage, I could do this. Because what's driving my decision now is the fact that I've regularly been 1,000 liters short of what I needed for a VIP order on the fields that I had. And so I was always kind of waiting another crop cycle to get there. And obviously that takes more time, and just means my progress is slower. So my hope is I'm speeding up my progress by adding those acres, and I'm also not just keeping hordes of money in the bank, which for a productive farm isn't necessarily that beneficial. But at some point, you know, I may want to think of other directions or other opportunities, so it may make sense at some point to say, you know, I'm gonna build up some cash reserves, because, you know, I might want to step away, or I might want to do something somewhere else. I might want to take on some farming in another location now that I'm over here in Europe. You know, and have kind of left the comfort of what I knew my whole life. I'm feeling a little more adventurous, that maybe I can do this somewhere else after all. I mean, food and crops and farming are needed all around the world, so the world is my oyster, as they say, right? It's just really my choice of what I do. Do I just make my entire career here at Riverview? Do I do something else? We'll see how everything works out over time. Right now I'm not so restless. I've got enough going on, but you know, it may get to a point where I'm going to decide, you know, the demands have gotten so high and so diverse that I'm just going to turn over everything to someone else and sell this off, and head off into the wild blue yonder and figure out what I do next. But we'll worry about that when we get there. We're a long way from that, I think. As I said, it's not as if I'm suddenly feeling angst, saying, yeah, I've done all I want here, and I'm bored and I want to change the scenery. I'm doing just fine. So for those of you who like Riverview and like this location, have no fear. You know, the real question is, do I, you know, how does it all work when that happens? But just now, as always, whenever I talk about something, my brain starts working through all the permutations. So I really needed to stay off that tangent, because now I'm thinking about things I don't need to worry about. So I'm going to go ahead and at this point and You know, I think between the oats and taking care of the cows and continuing here through most of this field, giving you enough entertainment to keep you going for a bit. So I'm going to finish up the sunflower harvest, and then I'll be back when it's time for the sales. So I'll see you in a bit. Getting down to the last portion of this field. I don't think I'm quite going to get to 5,000 liters. There's not that much left here, so I do think it's not going to fit in one pass. I'm not even going to worry about snapping to the GPS. So there we go. Pretty close. 4904. We'll get probably 5 or 10 more liters out of this stand here, and that'll be it. There you go, 5. So, turn that off, go dump it in. This is, I've got 2 full loads off of both fields, plus this group here. So, do not have enough to handle both, which I'm not honestly surprised with. It's kind of what I would expect. Always seems to be a lot less than I thought, which is partially why the additional field is so tempting. But we are now at 349 here, so it is still early enough. But at this point, I am going to... let me see. Alright, because yeah, the sunflowers go to 2 different places, so I am going to go drop this, and then I may just grab the sunflowers. I'm not sure. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. They're both going to Moondogs, but I don't want to try, because I can't use the limiter to dump the appropriate amount. I can only use it to limit me to the appropriate amount. But as you can see, we've only got 23,509 liters of sunflower seeds here. And that's off 2 fields, let me remind you. So I barely got 10,000 off. Oh, I went way too far here. Well, that's going to make life interesting. Maybe we'll just pull all the way around this trailer here. Yeah, the other thing I forgot is I think... whoops, don't want to pull onto the trailer. I might... oh boy. Thought I could fit around and get under that building, but just barely. Alright. I'm thinking eggs are in level 5 too, so if I can deliver those eggs, that'll be a good amount of income for sure to add on. So feeling pretty good about where I'm at. So 373,597. I do have repairs and things I need to do, but got the silage pit open from before. You know, and I can always kind of now keep the cows moving forward, and that should become some steady income from dairy and slurry and other things if I don't need it for the VIPs. But I've got some ideas. So if I have enough, I might just end today. Oh, I don't know why I left. I have to load up with oats. So let me believe it's going to be 14,000. So let me get that resolved here. Oops, not 140,000, 14,000. Yep. All right. Let me just make sure. No, that's sunflowers. So let me do the oats. But we're going to Moondogs. I kind of forget where that is. That's Stu. So I think Moondogs is the one down here. Yes. So it's whoops, a good haul away. So I actually need to go 19,000. So we'll get oats, and we barely have enough of those. As you can see, just we only have like 1,500 to spare, so definitely barely eking by here, which is where, as I said, I just wonder if the VIP mod is very focused on what your output can be and really kind of sets the levels related to that. The challenge I have is I don't have a lot of crops coming up in the next few times. So I've got an idea about the TMR mixer, because I do need planks at some point. So in theory that means I need to take some trees out. So, but I think what I'm going to do is put the TMR mixer up near the bunker, because I'm basically mixing up there now. It's just easier than moving everything everywhere, and especially if I'm going to be loading it regularly, I want it's somewhere that it's out of the way, which definitely up there it will be, because I'm really not doing much up there other than storing things. So this is not the field I'm discussing. I just want to be clear, this is 44. And again, this isn't a bad field. It just isn't as good with the soil type, because the benefit of 44 is the fact that it has all that loam, which is the best, soil type available. We've got over 70% of that field in loam, and then the rest of it is the second best. So basically right past that hill is where we would be. I forgot again that I was in Britain as far as driving. I mean, I don't forget in that regard. I know I'm at Riverview, I'm spending money in pounds and so forth, but just always forgetting which side of the road to be on until I see a vehicle, and then I panic a bit. So, I mean, it is a little interesting. I'll definitely take a look at this one again, but I just vaguely recall as I did my research, which did take quite a bit of time, that I just determined, no, that's really the best one. I think 44 has some really questionable soil types. And these here, you know, now we're starting to get into where it's just challenging to get to. So, no, the field I want is in front of me, because that's 44 that I'm looking down on. So as I go around this turn here, I'll be able to look down on the field that I'd be talking about potentially owning here. So we'll have that nice edge, and you can see that's a nice expanse. And we'll be right by the town and all. I don't know. I mean, it's really more how valuable it is to work than anything else. So, alright, well, slowing down on that hill did not help anything. It's definitely having a bit of a fun trying to get up there. So yeah, it's not this location, this is the bakery. It's the next curve around. So, gotta go around field 49, and then we will be where we need to be. So I'll see you when I get there, and we'll get this order taken care of. I don't want to fall off the hill, but didn't want to hit that car. See you in a bit. Alright, so here we are. Moondogs and the livestock auction. So when we go take some cattle to sell, we'll get them here. Wonder if it'll have animal sales as something I have to do for VIP orders. Alright. Here we go. So we can see oats going down. I'm always worried I'm like at the wrong place. And there we go, 23,000, 1539. I have enough to buy the field now, but again, now I'm also dealing with the TMR mixer. So I'm going to need to take a look at that. Whoa, why did you stop? You were past me. I was just going to pull out on the road after you. Goodness. Oh, pack of deer. They barely got missed by that. Oh, I think I hit one, but luckily it's Farming Simulator deer, so I didn't really hit one, but they missed the car. That was pretty impressive with their other ability. So, see you when I get back and I'm loaded up with the sunflowers. Alright, so I am back here, 5 o'clock. Time is definitely flying along. It's a good long ride, though, to get myself unloaded there at Moondogs, so... But we have a little under 10,000 left into the next batch, so if I'm really pressed for money, I could go ahead and go deliver the rest of that for the level 5 order once I'm done with this, and get, you know, a little bit more income, probably another 5 to 10,000, I'm sure, at least. I think sunflowers usually are pretty high priced. Profitable is less of the thing at this point. I'm not really tracking any kind of finances on this because it's just not typically what I'm doing in single player. But, alright. But I'll see you over at Moondogs, and right now, mathematically, I think we're in good shape because we're going to get 102,000 as the bonus alone, and that will already put us over 500,000. And if I recall, I think the TMR mixer's 70,000. So it's just a matter of, is it going to cost more to place it somewhere? And, you know, will that somehow eat into things a bit? So, we're driving off the road because I can't see, but I'll see when I get there, and we'll work forward from there into the evening and see how we end our day. Made it back to Moondogs, about a 20-minute trip or so to get over here. So, let's see how this plays out. So there we go. We'll get this done. 30,000 plus almost 2,000 in environmental, and then 102,000. And now we have got 5 things to do. And I'm not sure if we already have the canola or not. We know we're short on the sunflower. Every time I deliver here, I have a problem with tickle in my throat. But we know we have this, don't have the sunflowers. But I should... now I hit him. I am just... This is a bad intersection for me, clearly. So, let me get back to the farm, do a little investigating, and we may make some major moves before the end of the day, or maybe I'll wait till the morning, I don't know. So, welcome back to Newbie Farm. Am I still a newbie if I've made over £500,000 now? Not sure. I still qualify. Alright, so I'm back here on the farm. So here's where we stand for level 5. So if we take a look at what we need straw and hay, sunflowers, slurry, and canola. We have enough canola to fill the order, so we're in good shape there. We actually don't need eggs till level 6, so the chickens aren't really needed for a bit. We know we don't have enough sunflowers. We're working to get slurry, But we do have enough hay and straw, so we literally can fill 3 of these 5 orders and a portion of each of the others if we needed to. So we're perfectly fine on money at this point as far as the immediate needs that we are looking at. Okay, so heading back here then, the other thing that is of interest is the level 8 orders that have appeared. We do have some crops, and that we have some wheat. Now, that's a lot of wheat. That would probably take most of my fields. So I certainly expect that in some cases the increase in quantity is simply because they're more complex and higher level orders. It's also important that I keep an eye out. Like, there's a lot of hay that is being asked for over time. Plus, we're going to need hay for the cows, so there's going to be some work going on. I'm surprised there's no milk that has appeared yet, but I am going to need to get the carpentry location to get some planks, and then the oil mill to make sunflower oil as well. So there's going to be some productions that I'm going to need over time as well, but that will take a bit of effort. So what I'm going to do at this point, I think, is I'm going to wait until tomorrow because I have enough money. I did take a look. The TMR mixer that I'm going to try to use is actually only 30,000 pounds. I thought it was 70. So we definitely have enough, but to avoid maintenance on a building that I'm not going to use until tomorrow anyway, I'm just going to save that one day. It's already late, and I'm going to call this a day, and then I am going to go ahead, and tomorrow's going to be a lot of setup. We're going to get our new field. I'll do that right in the morning, and then we'll place our TMR mixer, get that running, because my understanding for that is it's going to generate about 4,600 liters an hour, which should be plenty to keep everything going, and it only has a capacity of 46,000 liters, so it's going to fill up pretty quickly, I'm assuming, basically in half a day. But that should be enough to keep things going for a while, and I suppose if I need more I can always put multiples up. But the only other building that is an option is substantially more expensive. It's $150,000, and it is a huge footprint, so I don't really have room for that. So the nice thing with this one is it's smaller, but rather than talk about it, we'll just work with it tomorrow. So for now, I will see you next time.